Darlie Routier Fact and Fiction, Separating the Truth from Lies in the Darlie Routier Trial, written by our friend Mary Moody years ago. I put it into a series into video form so we could keep it for years to come. I've been through the introduction to Who's Who, the Routier statements, the arrest warrant, author Barb Davis, all of the myths, and we are on In Her Own Words and statement number 9, and it goes as follows. The investigators say sock was planted down the alley. That's crazy. We didn't even know about the sock until about a month after I was arrested. Sock, planted, or discarded. One of Darren's tube socks, with a small amount of both boys' blood on it, was found next to a garbage can in the alley that runs behind the Routier's home. It was collected and sent for DNA testing. At trial, Alan Brantley said he believed that the sock was part of the staging event. Not a surprising conclusion, considering the obvious staging done inside the house. Tom Bevel, though, disagreed. Davis, Mr. Mosey asked you about throwdown evidence that you want to be found. In regard to the sock, would that be more consistent with an assailant wanting to disassociate that sock from the crime scene? For the reason of distance, yes, it would. Greg Davis's closing argument made it clear where the prosecutor stood on this issue. I'm not telling you that this defendant went down there in some clever effort to plant the sock. Mr. Shook is not saying that either. What we are saying is that this woman knew very well that the sock came from out of her house. She knew the sock had blood on it. And how is she ever going to explain that? Get it out of the house. And it won't take her very long at all. We didn't know about the sock until the sock was found far enough away from the house that the police would not have automatically considered it part of the crime. Certainly not part of the crime scene. It was tested presumptively for blood, packaged and sent to the crime lab. They then had to wait for DNA results to come back before the sock could even be linked to the crime. DNA results are not obtained overnight, and with over 100 other pieces of evidence tested, it should come as no surprise that it took over a month. The sock was not mentioned in Darlie's arrest warrant for the same reason the blonde hair in the screen wasn't mentioned. Neither item had been conclusively linked to the crime at that point. Conclusion. Once again, Darlie is stating a half-truth. One witness believed it was throwdown evidence to suggest an intruder, while another believed the sock was put there to disassociate it from the home. Differences of opinion are often the norm in most trials, particularly when delving into the mind of a murderer. I agree with Bevel and the prosecutors, but that this was one piece of evidence that was not staged. If Darlie's intent was to pin it on an assailant, it would have been easier and much less risky for her to have simply thrown the sock into the backyard, where the police would be sure to find it. Darlie didn't know the DNA results on the sock until a month after she was arrested, but then neither did anyone else. I believe she knew that there was a sock in the alley, though, and I believe she knew it several hours before the police did.
Have any girl they choose. They've got tricks, but my baby's got a why. So in case you haven't heard the news, she doesn't like the tough guys. She doesn't like the rough guys. So find someone your own size. Oh, she's not afraid of you.